Bodhisattva knows that all the dharmas are of a single nature, non-dual. A. All dharmas are intelligible and consequently one. The eye consciousness understands color, and so on up to the mental consciousness which understands dharmas. As a result of this characteristic of intelligibility, all dharmas are proclaimed one. B. All dharmas are knowable and consequently one. The dukkha dharmajnana and the dukkha nva yajnana cognize the truth of suffering. The samudaya dharmajnana and the samudaya nva yajnana cognize the truth of the origin of suffering. The nirodha dharmajnana and the nira nva yajnana cognize the truth of the cessation of suffering. The marj dharmajnana and the marj nva yajnana cognize the truth of the path. Finally, excellent worldly knowledge also cognizes suffering, its origin, its destruction, the path of its cessation, space and cessation not due to knowledge. As a result of this nature of cognizability, all dharmas are proclaimed one. C. All dharmas are capable of being object and consequently one. The visual consciousness and the things associated with it are concerned with color. In the same way, the auditory consciousness, olfactory, gustatory and tactile consciousnesses are concerned with sound, smell, taste and the tangible respectively. The mental consciousness and the things associated with it are concerned with the eye, color and the visual consciousness as well as all the others, including the mind, dharmas and the mental consciousness. As a result of this nature of objectivity, all dharmas are declared one. D. Moreover, some claim that all dharmas, taken separately, form a unity. 1 and 1 is 2. 3 times 1 is 3, and so on up to 1,000, 10,000, etc. Everything reduces to unity. It is metaphorical to speak of thousands and tens of thousands. Finally, in all dharmas there is a characteristic that makes them to be declared one. They are one by means of this same characteristic. Every object is called dharma. By means of this nature of dharma, it is one. The patience consisting of destroying any characteristic of multiplicity by means of innumerable categories of this type without, however, being attached to unity, is called dharmaksanti. 8. Moreover, the Bodhisattva sees everything as duality. What is duality? Duality is inner nature and outer nature. As a result of this inner nature and this outer nature, that which is inner is not outer, and that which is outer is not inner. Moreover, all dharmas are dual by virtue of their nature of existence and their nature of non-existence. They are empty and non-empty, eternal and transitory, personal and non-personal, material and non-material, visible and invisible, resistant and non-resistant, impure and pure, conditioned and unconditioned, mind and non-mind, of mental order and of non-mental order, associated with mind and dissociated from mind. The patience that consists of destroying uniqueness by means of innumerable categories of this type without, however, becoming attached to duality, is called dharmaksanti. 9. Moreover, sometimes the Bodhisattva sees all dharmas as triple. What is this triplicity? All the dharmas are lower, middling or higher, good, bad or indeterminate, existent, non-existent, neither existent nor non-existent. To be abandoned by seeing the truths, to be abandoned by meditation, not to be abandoned. Pertaining to the student, pertaining to the teacher, pertaining to neither the student or the teacher. Involving retribution, not involving retribution, involving neither retribution nor the absence of retribution. The patience consisting of destroying unity by means of innumerable ternary categories of this type without, however, being attached to multiplicity is called dharmaksanti. Patience in regard to the Buddhadharma. Moreover, although the Bodhisattva has not yet obtained the pure path and has not cut through the fetters, he is able to adhere to the pure holy Dharma as well as the 3 seals of the Dharma. First seal. All conditionings are transitory. Second seal. All dharmas are devoid of substantial self. Third seal. Nirvana is reality. The saints who have obtained the path possess the knowledge of all that by themselves. But when the bodhisattva who has not obtained the path believes in this teaching and adopts it, this is called dharmaksanti. Moreover, there are 14 difficult questions which the Buddha did not answer. Is the world eternal, is it not eternal, etc. See above, Trait IP 155 ff. Meditating on these questions without encountering obstacles or losing the middle path, the ability to maintain such a position constitutes dharmaksanti. Kalamalankyasutta. A bhiksu who was reflecting and meditating on these 14 difficult questions had no success in penetrating them and became impatient. Taking his robe and his begging bowl, he went to the Buddha and said, "If the Buddha will explain these 14 difficult questions for me and satisfy my mind, I will remain his disciple. If he does not succeed in explaining them to me, I will seek another path." The Buddha answered this fool, "At the beginning, did you have an agreement with me that if I explained these 14 difficult questions, you would be my disciple?" The bhiksu said no. The Buddha continued, "Fool! How can you say today that, if I do not explain that, you will not be my disciple? I preach the Dharma to save people stricken by old age, sickness and death. These 14 difficult questions are subject for debate. They are of no use to the Dharma and are only futile proliferation. Why ask me these questions? If I answered, you would not understand. At the time of death, you would have understood nothing and you would not be liberated from birth, old age, sickness and death. A man has been struck by a poisoned arrow. His relatives and his companions have called a physician to remove the arrow and apply an antidote. The wounded man says to the physician, "I will not let you take out the arrow until I know what is your clan, your name, your family, your village, your father and mother and your age. I want to know from which mountain the arrow came from, what kind of wood and feathers, who made the arrowhead and what kind of iron. Then I want to know if the bow is of mountain wood or animal horn. Finally, I want to know where the antidote comes from and what is its name. After I have learned all these things, I will let you take out the arrow and apply the antidote." The Buddha then asked the bhiksu, "Will this man be able to know all these things and only after that let the arrow be removed?" The bhiksu answered, "The man will not succeed in knowing all that, for, if he waited to know it all, he would be dead before the operation." The Buddha continued, "You are like him. The arrow of wrong views dipped in the poison of thirst has pierced your mind. I want to remove this arrow from you, my disciple. But you are unwilling to let me take it out, and you want to know if the world is eternal or non-eternal, finite or infinite, etc. You will not find what you are looking for, but you will lose the life of wisdom. You will die like an animal and fall into the shadows." Gradually the bhiksu understood the words of the Buddha deeply and later attain arhathood.